but I don't remember any pain. I just remember God being with me. Now, you might say, well, what if we get assaulted? Uncle David was assaulted several times. And I remember my angel appearing at my side. But what if they throw a rock at you? Uncle David, they threw a rock at him. But God helped me see it, and I was able to dodge it. But what if they hold you up and point a gun to your head? Uncle David had several times a gun pointed to his head. And all I can remember is God's presence. So even though I look at the future and my heart says, this could be scary, you know what? I remember the past. And I say, God always holds your hand when you have to go through a difficult time. And so I can tell you right now at this moment, I'm not scared of the future. I think the greatest conquest and the most beautiful history of the church is still to be written. The question really is, are you going to be there? Am I going to be there? Let's keep reading. This is very important. The time is not far distant, when the test will come to every soul. The observance of the false Sabbaths will be urged upon us. Those who have yielded step by step to worldly demands and conformed to worldly customs will then yield to the powers rather than subject themselves to derision, insult, threat, imprisonment, and death. If you have conformed to worldly custom, you will give in on that day. How do you know if you've conformed to worldly custom? Well, let's check your computer to see what kind of files are on it. Let's check your MP3 player. Review it and say, is there anything worldly on my MP3 player? Is everything on my MP3 player, does it come from God? How about my dress? Young ladies, would you like to know what an appropriate standard for dress is? If you're walking down the street and you see a young man coming toward you, and the first thing that he looks at is your eyes, then you're probably dressed correctly. You understand? Because if your face is smiling, and there's nothing about you that you're dressed that calls attention, then he will look at your face. And if your face is the first thing he sees and he keeps looking at your face, you've been dressed correctly. But if you dress differently like the world does, there's going to be other parts of your body he's going to look at first. You understand what I'm saying? So, young ladies, how should you dress? So that your face is the part that attracts attention. That's proper, modest dress. And of course, some of you guys, you think, well, I can dress anyway. Oh, really? With your pants hanging down to here? Is that the way that an ambassador for the King of Kings is dressed? No. And some of you that come to church that are church members, you actually wear t-shirts that have satanic symbols on them. Rock shirts. You think that a godly person would advertise the devil's territory? You see, all of us have need to reform and dress. What about our food? Do we eat differently from the world? Well, I don't eat pork. It's not just pork. Are you trying to honor God with your body? With what you eat? God will help you to improve. But if we eat everything, if you just go to McDonald's and eat McDonald's food, they've finally proven that it could kill you. If all you do is eat McDonald's food, you could die of a heart attack in 60 days. They already did an experiment. And they found that the actual blood levels of cholesterol and other things got almost to the point of death if all you do is eat McDonald's food for 60 days. And you don't have to eat pork to do that. So what you eat, what you listen to, how about what you watch? Is that important? Here it says, if you conform to the world today, you will not stand in the time of crisis. So you can decide right now. You can take your final exam ahead of time. Isn't that nice? Most of us, when we go to the university, let's see, where are the 4 girls that sang tonight? Raise your hand. Where are you sitting? Okay, there's 3 of them. All 4 of you are together back there. Okay. You're in the university, right? Do you ever have final exams? Do you have some final exams coming up, or did you already take them? On Monday. Okay. Now, wouldn't it be nice if you already knew what grade you would get? Yes. Then you could say, well, I'm going to be weak in that area. I'm going to study a little more in this area. If I could tell you ahead of time what grade you would get, you would know where to study, right? Did you know that in your final exam spiritually, you already know? All you have to do is analyze your life and compare it to what the standard God wants, and you already know how you're going to be in the final exam. Because if you have worldly standards today, You've already made your choice. This is very important. And there's not going to be any other tests too coming up. Okay? Now, every power that is antagonistic to truth is strengthening. I was just reading a newspaper article the other day, and there is a group of soldiers in North America that is called Blackwater. You know what gray water and black water is, right? Have you ever heard of Blackwater? It's the sewer water. Gray water is what comes out of your sink where you wash your hands. Black water is what comes out of the toilet. They're so dirty. Have you ever heard, like, you say somebody's dirty? A dirty old man? What does that mean? It means something is not... Well, these soldiers are called Blackwater because they're so dirty. And there's 21,000 of them. There are special forces that all they do is kill people. And it doesn't matter who they kill, they are immune from prosecution. They have been told by the U.S. government that wherever they go, they can kill without any reservations and they will not be held accountable. And you ought to see their faces. I read the newspaper article. Their faces are like demon-possessed. They have been taught to kill without thinking twice. In fact, some of them have been taken off the streets of New York. They took them, some of the worst gang members, they put them together, and they said, kill each other. Whoever survives is going to be part of this. And out of hundreds of young people, only a few dozen survived. And those are the guys that are now Blackwater. They're going to be released on the world. Satan himself possesses their mind. They have killed so much, they will kill without thinking twice. The forces of the devil have been strengthening and they're prepared for a work of death. But you know what? I am so glad that I am surrounded by angelic protection. They can't touch me without God's permission. Do you think you would like to risk the future without God's protection? How many of you would like to go into the future and face the forces of hell all by yourself? Not anybody? Could I suggest to you that if you're going to get protection, you better start now? Because if you're going to go unprepared, you're going to face the forces of hell by yourself. No protection from God unless you are surrounded now. It is so important. I love Psalms when David was being persecuted. In Psalms 34 he said, this poor man cried to the Lord, and the Lord saved him out of all his troubles. He said, the angel of the Lord encampeth around them that fear him and delivereth them. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. And I love Psalms 91. He that dwelleth under the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. But you have to dwell if you want to abide. Do you understand? We can't feed ourselves the things of the world and expect God's protection. Those Blackwater soldiers are about to be released on the world. Anytime they have a problem, they'll send them in. Already, 21,000 of them are on the streets of America. And they've been told if there is a disaster, if there's strife, kill without reservation. They will go and kill somebody. They will chop. They will kill. They will stick their hand and take out somebody's heart without thinking twice. This is what they do. This is what they think. They dream and eat death, death, death. And they will be released on the citizens of North America very soon. Once the economy collapses, once food is not flowing, once people are complaining, once people begin to protest, they'll send the Blackwater forces in, and when they walk away, everybody will be dead. Do you really want to face that by yourself? Someday they look at the Advent Sabbath keepers and say, deal with them. Do you really want to face those people by yourself? Or do you want the holy angels of God to say, thus far and no further? You see, he that dwelleth, he that lives continuously in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under that shadow of protection. So the good news is tonight, God is looking for people that he can totally control and totally protect. That doesn't mean you won't go through hard times, because in order to get muscles, you have to have a little bit of pain. No pain, no gain. And if you're going to have to trust God, he's going to allow you to go outside of your comfort zone, and he's going to give Satan permission to test you so that you can say, Lord, I don't understand, but I'm going to trust you anyway. And God goes, Thank you.